What's going on, Birdland? Stephen Heckman here for the Final Strike podcast, and we're coming to you today with our special guest, Zachary Bucklew from the Baltimore Orioles. But real quick, before we get things started, I wanted to give you a quick update on a couple players. Keegan Akin is supposed to be making a started his rehab assignment, and actually should be pitching relatively soon in AAA. You have Ryan Mountcastle, who actually should be making his rehab start. Adley Rushman had a rehab start tonight. And Kyle Bradish is actually starting a rehab assignment Thursday as he will pitch for the Aberdeen Ironbirds. So enough about that. We're going to bring Zach in here because the Orioles have started their second half of the season, losing 3 out of the first 4 games, which is no fun if we want to make a historical postseason run. But we're here to talk about the draft, talk about some injuries, and maybe some other things along the way. So without further ado, we're going to bring in Zach because Zach has some information to share with us. Welcome on in, Zach. How are you doing this evening?
What's up? What's up? I'm good. A little tired 2 days later in the night, but I'm good. I'm great.
Well, I figured you're the best person to come in here to talk about minor leagues, talk about the draft, and
Yeah.
second person who honestly I know definitely has seen some things up in the air that makes you wonder about what's going on with the team when it comes to health wise, whether it be the training staff or coaching. So I figure we touch base on a little bit of that in our segment today and get your opinion in on it because I'm sure everybody doesn't want to hear my opinion.
I don't think they want to hear mine either. Neither one of us gets paid to give our opinions.
That's what makes it
But
fun. We're doing this because we love it.
oh, absolutely. But yeah, the big thing with the draft, I mean, I guess I'll start with my feelings on the draft, which you remember I at first lost my mind. Um,
Yep.
I'll put it to you this way. I was eating a brownie and it almost went flying by the end of night one. But then, like, looking at it, I thought about it some more. I actually liked the way we drafted. Um, Ike Irish at 19, he was somebody that just kept climbing up and up and up and up and up and up the rankings. He hit, I think he was, I have it right here. He was the 11th ranked prospect going into last Sunday.
Many
Until we
people
called,
actually thought he was going to be in a top 10 pick. There were a
yeah,
lot of people who thought that.
yeah, because he killed it at Auburn. And Auburn is really good at producing um, players. I mean, we see it with Casey Mize, and I'm blanking on other names. I just went down the road I didn't want to go to. Nonetheless, and then of course heads returned when Aiden Bowdine was drafted, and that's 2 catchers drafted in your first 2 picks.
Which I know upset a lot of people because many people wanted us to start, drafting pitchers. Me, for
Right.
one, I wasn't so much upset at the position of how we approached the draft because our mindset was best player in the draft. I was more upset at the fact that we drafted back to back catchers.
Yeah. And then, well, what I was mad at is that we took I'm gonna butcher his first name. I will learn it really soon. Wahawi? The shortstop from Arkansas. Aloy is his last name.
Yeah.
I couldn't even pronounce his name the entire time. When I was writing articles, I'm like, no one is gonna be tough to pronounce. But I was confused with drafting him after Bowdine, and why didn't we draft Aloy first? And then I thought, well, that's kind of stupid how you think about that because the only difference is money. And looking at it, the difference is not even 100K. But nonetheless, and then we drafted pitchers and shortstops and outfielders the rest of the way. So I was fine with the draft. My
So
pro, go ahead, sorry.
I want to ask you a quick question before we move further. The pitcher that the Phillies took, Wood.
I wanted him so bad.
Most of Birdland wanted him. Why do you think the Orioles steered clear of him?
Um, I think it goes the best player available. I think it's what it goes to. You look at like I'm gonna just throw out the prospects before Ike Irish, and they were all drafted. Of course, Ethan Holiday went 4, Kate Anderson went 3, Seth Hernandez went 6, Jamie Arnold went 11, Eli Willits went first, Ava Arquette went 7, Billy Carlson went 10, Liam Doyle went 5, JoJo Parker went 8, and Kyson Witherspoon went 15. So the next highest player available was Ike Irish. So if you're
And
going best available, why go with Gage Wood, who's all the way down here at 23, where actually technicality, your CV prospect at 37 that you drafted in Slater DeBron is just one behind him. So
True.
if you're going best available, why would you go with Gage Wood over at Gyris? I seriously think if he was there at 30, we take him. If I'm
That's
gonna be honest with
right.
you.
I know I was getting a lot of text messages from, people who wanted the Orioles to draft him, and I kept telling them, I said, "Don't ever bank on Elias drafting a pitcher in the first round." Honestly, if you look at Elias's history where he was with the Astros, even with the Cardinals, a lot of the times those organizations did not draft and develop pitchers. They obtained pitchers,
They
whether that
signed
be an
him
yep, free agent, trades, or signing the prospects. I mean, you can take a look, Robinson. Yennier Cano is a guy who was basically on his way out of the league, and we traded for him, groomed him, fixed him up, brought him back. Same with Felix Bautista. He was cut from the Marlins, and look where he is now. He's considered one of the best closers in baseball.
before
So
he fell apart. CNL Perez was the same way.
exactly, I don't know what happened to CNL, but well, that's a different topic for another day. A lot of pundits said the Orioles had one of the best draft classes. Now, the good thing about this draft is this was a draft from top to bottom that had so much depth in it. It was very easily any player could have gone in the first round as well as in the third round, fifth round, etc.
hmm
Do you think the Orioles' value overall on the draft was top five?
I do. I do. I think they had the hands down best draft. No. Um, if I'm thinking value, I think the Mariners had one of the best drafts I've ever seen. I need to double check, which I'll do in a minute. But you got the best pitcher in the draft in Cade Anderson, and you drafted who I think is a top catcher in Luke Stevenson. You all heard me rave about that kid from North Carolina. So I
You're
think
hoping we got
Seattle. Well, yeah, because when we drafted Bowdine, I was more so upset that we drafted Bowdine over Stevenson. But I do think we had a top five draft. Like I said, what I think helped, I don't even know where you would place it because, I mean, obviously, I don't know every single pick because I
yeah.
mostly focused on the Oriole pick. But
But
I
the way
also
the
think,
pundits
like,
have been talking about it is they're saying how wonderful and excellent the draft is. Of course, us as fans of the Orioles are going to look at the draft a little bit different because we definitely want our team to be good. The great thing about us at the Battery is we actually are a very unbiased group of gentlemen who actually write and report. We will give our honest opinion on what's going on with the state of the Orioles. You know, and a lot of people might say that's talk, but read our articles. Go to the Baltimore Battery and just scroll through these articles. You will get honest opinions on people from any one of us.
yeah, I mean, well, we hold back a little bit in some cases, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, we still get our point across
yeah,
from what we're trying to say.
we
Like,
do.
you know,
We try not to bash and like, yeah, I know, we both are on the same idea.
but
Mm, go ahead.
I will say this: Zach did have a problem with the draft per se, but it's not exactly the draft. It's the aftermarket of the draft, and that's where Zach's biggest issue came with. So Zach, I'm gonna let you explain what we're talking about and what bothers you the most about it.
All right, so we walked into this draft. I'm pulling up one last thing real quickly that I should have pulled up when we were setting up, but I just thought about it. We pulled into this draft with the highest money on the board. 19 million something. I don't know all the other numbers. Started with 19 million. According to Camden Chat, which is a great website by the way, that we have signed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players and have signed them for a combined 16 million something other. I don't know the exact number. I think it's like 16.2. And we've underslotted by $487,000. Here's my
And
problem.
just for those who aren't paying attention, that leaves us less than 3 million to sign the rest of our draft.
Correct. Here's my problem. It's not that we underslotted, it's where the money went. Now, I will state here, I am not a money person. I stink with money. I'm not good with money. But Some are in good cases like that Ike Irish, we got him for 4.4 million. We only underslotted by 2,500. That's fine. We got Bowdine and Alloy at slot values. We underslotted on our second round pick by 100,000. That's fine. It was a Joseph DeZerwin, who was a Michigan State pitcher. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with underslotting college pitchers and college players because it's the it, you're it, if they don't sign, if they're a senior, what are they going to do? So they're
Sure.
going to negotiate a little bit better. My problem comes with our fifth round, 154th overall pick. Now, Jaden Lowray is a solid player. He was really good at Corona del Sol. And you look at it, and 562,000 is pretty solid for a fifth round pick.
Hmm.
Until you realize we overslotted him by $110,000. Why? It's a 17-year-old. Maybe he's 18 now, but it's a 17-year-old that you got in the fifth round. Why are we overslotting him with money?
And
And
this is
like later on, I'm sorry to cut you off.
they're
Later
fun
on in the eighth and 10th round, you're underslotting guys by 124,000 and 161,000. While your 37th overall pick in Slater DeBrun, who yes is committed to Vanderbilt and yes is just now coming out of high school at Summit, looking at the value pick, it's at what was he? 37, not 67, like 37. The value pick for him is $2,631,400. So you sign him, you can say goodbye to pretty much to 11 through 20, unless you can underslot them. So my question is, and like I said, maybe it's something behind closed doors, maybe it was an agency thing. Why are we overslotting on a fifth round pick when we're underslotting everywhere else? What's the difference?
Does signing bonus play a factor in that draft pool?
I don't think so. Actually, I do. I do think. I don't know.
Because if it doesn't, that might be where the money's going. You're giving people so much money guaranteed up front.
Yeah, and I don't know exact contracts, because those sometimes don't get released.
Nope.
But I think about players who have slipped and have proven themselves and then get drafted later on. I mean, you see it. I mean, like the Mariners in back-to-back years drafted Adley Rutschman and Heston Kjerstad in like the 20th round, and they both went on to college and they both became top 5 picks. But my thing is, and like I said, it could be something completely different that has nothing to do with money, because NIL deals are a thing now. So with Slater going to Vanderbilt, there's a chance that he just gets more money through NIL, and he can take a chance on himself, play 3 years at Vanderbilt, possibly go 3 years in the College World Series, get TV time, get deals, and could be a top 5 pick come 2029.
Or even go to Vanderbilt for a year. I mean, that's the
I,
thing. It
I think you have to play 3. I think you have to be a junior.
in order to enter the draft.
Yeah, because I only say that because Rock Chalowski was
Mhm.
like the top player in the Big Ten, and he wasn't entered the draft because he's a sophomore.
I remember Kumar Rocker.
He
Remember
was a junior.
he refused to sign with the Mets and actually
Yeah,
went out and played independent ball for a year
that's
before
because he was a
going back and
senior. Yeah, so
yeah.
there's other options, but I'm pretty sure in college you have to play 3 years. I
But
think they follow. I think they follow football rules. I think
well,
basketball
football's
is the
2
only
years.
one.
Football's I think is 2 years.
Yeah, but they make it to where education comes first, which I'm fine with.
Exactly. And I think that's important, especially when you think of all these players who one injury away from being out of the league for good.
Right.
I mean, it's you have players who are coming back from injuries, and this all goes and this is we're gonna be talking about this very shortly here. This all goes into how your team's training staff, training room, exercise room, recovery room, and what you do in the process of rehabbing is set up, which makes a big difference. That's why
Right.
we were able to see Jorge Mateo last year return from a dislocated wrist, and yet we cautioned him through spring training before, not even expecting him to make the opening day roster.
Right.
So those are factors that come into play here, especially where like Kumar Rocker. I remember when Kumar Rocker was drafted, one of the big things that turned that whole thing away was the Mets found something in his medical file,
Mhm.
and they tried to pay him less because of it, and he didn't wanna buy it.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, didn't Kumar Rocker get drafted by Texas, right?
Yeah, he's a Ranger.
And didn't he just recently get hurt with a shoulder injury?
It was either shoulder or lat.
Which
I
lat
remember
if anybody
seeing.
if anybody's unfamiliar, your lat literally runs right under your arm down the side of your pec. So,
Okay, so no, he's playing. Let's start
okay,
there
he is playing. So he's come back recently.
because yeah, let me. This is. I saw he's playing from an article.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
he played 2 days ago and went 6 1/3. So whatever it was, he's back.
yeah.
I
But one
do
of the big
remember there
things
was an injury. You're right. There
yep,
was an injury.
there was an injury that kept him from progressing and moving forward. He's 25 now. He's actually gonna be 26 this year. And
He
when
was activated June 4th,
yeah,
but it
that's
doesn't
exactly right.
say April 24th, right shoulder impingement, and he was out for a month.
So, and if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but let me
When we talk about guys taking a chance on him, Mark Appel, Brady Aiken, 2 first
yeah,
round picks they didn't sign, and neither one turned out. Brady Aiken was something else though, but
yeah. Well, and then you get players like Stephen Drew, or no, I'm sorry, JD Drew, who gets drafted and doesn't want to play for the Phillies, sits out, comes back a year later, gets drafted, I think, by the Cardinals or the Red Sox. What is one of the two? I know he played for
I
both of
know
them.
him as a Red Sox.
Yeah, but he played for both of them, if I remember correctly. Either
I think
way, he
you're
comes
right.
back. He has a doesn't have an excellent career, has a good career, not an excellent career, not what the hype was. Like, he came out of school with the hype that was surrounding Bryce Harper when Bryce Harper was drafted.
Mhm.
And the one thing I will say about Bryce Harper is even though he's injured, that guy's gonna give you 150% every time he's out there.
Mhm.
JD Drew was not that person. JD Drew would basically lose interest if he wasn't a part of what was going on.
Well, I'll tell you another one, Oriole prospect Judd Fabian.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he was drafted
Judd the
with
stud?
Judd the stud. He was drafted 40th overall in 2021 to Boston. They couldn't come to a deal, so he never signed. Went back to Florida, played decent, and that's a part where it hurt him because he actually dropped 27 spots. He went from 44 to 60 or 40 overall to 40th to 67th and signed for $1 million.
Now, I will say with Judd Fabian, he did set records at Florida. First
Yep.
player to ever have back-to-back 20-plus home run seasons. He did develop some power that he did not have in the beginning when he
Yep.
was quickly drafted by Boston. So, in a sense, it did hurt him overall money-wise, but in a sense, it might help his career in the long run because he's actually, if I'm correct, isn't he a top 10 prospect for us?
Nope.
Top 15?
Nope.
Oh, he's dropped.
He's not even on the top 25,
Wow. Okay. So,
which
see,
is a completely different podcast problem because I have a problem with our top 25 list, but or top 30, I'm sorry, but that's a whole different we'll discuss that
has
later
has
because
the updated list come out now that they've
no.
okay.
So, I'm sorry, he's 24th on the top 30.
Okay,
My
so
bad.
he's still a top 30 prospect,
I don't know why I thought he dropped, but anyway.
no, I honestly thought he was higher, so I haven't looked at the top 30 prospect list for most of the season unless I needed to, but
Right.
we're probably gonna come back and touch base on all this again once the new top 30 list is revealed, because now that you have
Probably
when's
next
the international
week.
draft?
Um, International is January.
Okay, so, yeah, it'll probably be in the next week or 2 that the
Yeah,
top 30 is
because
updated.
bonuses have to be signed by Monday at 5, and
Okay,
then pipeline needs time to get things situated, so I would guess by early August,
yep,
or maybe even mid-August, and then that would be the final one until next March,
yep. So,
unless somebody graduates, which there's only one player I can see graduating by then,
we'll be
and it's
back
make
to discuss that once that comes out because 'cause I'm sure we'll have, some interesting takes on the top 30
yeah,
and the top
I have
100.
some problems with it,
Yeah,
with
but that's for
both.
another day. we're gonna move forward and head on over real quick to the injury history that is marred. And when I say marred, I'm not a person who usually likes to say injuries will affect the team for a season. But when you look at the Baltimore Orioles, 26 players on the IL so far this season alone, and that's just in the majors. That's not counting what's going on down in AAA,
Yep.
Double A, High A, and Low A, even RCL and FCL, which is Zach's little favorite pastime. um,
Hidden
It leads
Bowdines
me to
in
believe because
FCO.
it's a lot of similar injuries. With our pitchers, it's mostly lat strains. And, of
Yep.
course, Grayson Rodriguez, anybody paying attention knows that Grayson Rodriguez has dealt with lat strains for the past 2.5 seasons, all right? Justin Armbruster just had lat surgery that knocked him out for the year a couple months ago. Zach Eflin has complained about lat this year. Um, I'm trying to think. There was another one that went on with a lat strain for a short period of time and then came back.
Wasn't Akin's was
It might
Akin's lat or was his shoulder?
Aiken's is lat. Aiken is lat. So, and then the other one is shoulder fatigue. On the offensive side, it's been hamstrings and oblique, which has
Right.
led me to raise questions as to is our training staff rushing players back before they're ready, which is causing them to get injured worse? Or is it front office? Is it ownership? Is it coaching that is having a hand with these players coming back and getting injured because of the way they're playing?
I think it's a mixture of both. I'm trying to see. All right, 16 pitchers are out for the season in the minor leagues. That's what I was sitting here counting.
16.
16 pitchers are either on the 60 IL or full season. Now, do I know exactly what the injuries are? No, because you can't, it doesn't tell you in the minor league stuff what the injuries are. But I do know, like, we know about Armbruster. I do know, I believe Teddy Sharkey's is Tommy John and a bunch of others. But when it comes to what you were saying about what's causing it, my problem isn't the injuries because injuries are going to happen. If you
Exactly.
can go through an entire season and not have the slightest of injuries, then good for you. Because with the way baseball is nowadays, that either means A, you don't play, or B, you're just, you know what I mean? You're built of stone. Um, my problem is it's the same injuries. Like
Yes.
you said, the lat, the shoulder, the elbow, the hamstring,
The
the
oblique.
oblique, I'll even say the entire leg because of Van Sunnycutt has a sprained ankle or
Well, then
sprained
you have
ankle, whatever it is.
Gary Sanchez has a sprained PCL.
Right. So the problem that I'm having with it is, and we've talked about this before because we both played. I mean, you played actual high school. I didn't because I stunk. But my point is, even when you're playing like rec ball or travel ball, like you still have the same workouts.
Mhm.
You still learn how to do conditioning. And I remember being like a helper from our high school's team, and they had an entire practice day of conditioning. It was
Yep,
straight running and jogging and stretching, and that's what it was for an hour and a half. And then it was
yeah,
a half hour of like infield practice, and that's it. Because conditioning is important.
it
So my
is.
question is, it's obvious that when you're a major league player, you can't practice every day
Mm.
because it hurts. So is it the fact that people are practicing too much? Are they doing too many bullpen sessions? Or is it, are they not doing enough and the training staff is not worried about practicing? Or is it that it's just all a coincidence?
Or is it players are playing hurt because of fear of losing their spot to one of these prospects that are coming up?
Yeah, and that is where I have a problem with the MLB in general. Um, what we just saw, it's not baseball, but we just saw in that softball College World Series, I can't think of her name. The one that played with a torn ACL.
Uh, I know you're talking about the one I keep thinking
Yeah,
of. The girl got hit in the head with the ball and stayed in the game and pitched.
yeah, that one too. Like they're playing through injuries, which is dangerous.
It is.
Remember, do you remember the story of Tim Elko in college at Ole Miss?
Don't
He was hitting home runs on a torn ACL.
that's crazy. Well, look at Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, look at Acuna. He's playing.
Yeah, he's had 2 ACL injuries in the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah. And I understand the whole no pain, no gain, but also pain. And not only do you lose your spot, you're losing money
Exactly. Well, see, that's the difference. Is baseball, all contracts are guaranteed.
if
So
you're a
are you
free
really
agent, though.
losing money?
If you're a free agent.
But even if your contract, you could have writing in your contract that specifies if injured, you still get paid so much.
Yeah, that's something I've heard too.
So the thing is,
But
I kind of want to say and lean towards it's our training staff for the simple fact, and you've brought this up before. I want you to bring it up again and discuss it real quick because we're going to get ready to wrap up here soon. But Felix Bautista's injury against Colorado that basically shut him down for pretty much almost 2 seasons, well, a season and a half. Be honest,
yeah,
season and a half.
so I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't have the article up right now, and I don't feel like looking for it. Can take forever to find it earlier. Um, so pretty much, if you go back and watch the 101 win documentary, you can see it's like the 57-minute mark when Felix is coming out for that game on the 24th.
My birthday.
You can yeah, I know, that's why I feel bad saying all this, 'cause it's your birthday, it's Cal's birthday, it's this person's birthday, it's just a lot.
Yes.
But if you watch it, there's some kind of weird look on Felix's face. Now, is it a possibility to stretch because of what we know now? It is. But if you watch it back, there's some kind of look on his face that looks like distress.
Yep.
And then if you watch his warm-up pitches, it looks like distress.
Mhm.
So
If
there's
I
a couple of theories. I
if
mean,
I
did he
remember
say
if I
was it?
remember correctly, didn't he walk the first batter on, like, 4 pitches?
I believe so. And they weren't even close.
No, they were way outside the zone, they were up, they were high. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a weird like, anybody paying attention now knowing what happened, you would actually second guess him actually pitching.
And then you think about it and like if I can see it from sitting on my couch watching a video that is like 5 months later than the actual event, what else can I s what else who else sees it? And
Who else
if
is
you always
listening?
if huh?
Who else is listening? Because remember, there's a
Yeah.
language barrier with Felix as well.
Yeah, because he's Dom
Dominican.
is he he's Dominican. Okay, I hate guessing. Um, but I was pretty sure he was Dominican. And that's the thing, there's a language barrier, and yes, you have, um
Translators.
yeah, I'm losing it. Yes, you have translators, but if nothing is said to the translator, how's the translator going to translate it back?
Exactly.
And like I said, the story is could he have said is it that he said something and they were like, "Oh, we'll just worry about it later. You're probably just stiff." Or is it that he just didn't say anything because he knew about the like where we were in the season? Um, and how he was, and he was actually like he was up for Cy Young, and because he got hurt in 2023, so he was
Yep.
up for Cy Young. He was the best closer in baseball. He was everything in the Orioles bullpen. He was a part of the three-headed monster, as we called him, when CNO popped off and Yanir popped off and Felix was popping off. Or is it that nobody noticed it? And then if you notice, there is no when Felix is like doing this. It's they just come out.
Exactly.
So
And
I don't
that's the
know.
question here. Is our training staff missing something? Are the coaches missing something? You can honestly say, is the front office missing something? But the front office is not at a level where they can see certain things. Just
Right.
like we're watching the game, honestly, when he got hurt, I thought it was his leg because when he landed, his leg kind of went weird.
I thought he twisted his knee
Yeah, that's what I thought, or I
because
thought
that's
his
what we were
ACL
talking
went.
about. We were
Yep,
talking
and
about it. I was
then
like, it's his knee. And then we got the news the next day and it was like, wait a minute.
yeah, it didn't. But then when you see the video of him actually, the way he just hung his arm, it's like, yeah, it's definitely his arm. So,
Yeah.
but Well, Birdland, I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you think it's the training staff? And honestly, if you really read the article that was just put out the other day, one of the question at the Battery midseason Q&A, one of the questions was actually, could it be the coaching or the training staff? Philosophy and, what is required to help a team proceed. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this. Is the training staff missing something? Is this something that the coaching is missing? Is it something the front office is overlooking or encouraging players to come back earlier? Or is it the players possibly scared that they're going to lose money because they're not going to be on the team and go somewhere else or lose their job to a prospect? So let us know in
Yeah.
the comments below because that's something that, with a team that leads the majors and lost time with injuries like the Baltimore Orioles, it affects the season the way it is, and that's one reason why the season is where we are at. We have had currently, I think Zach said it was 6 starting pitchers who are on the IL. We could actually feel an entire baseball team on the IL based off what we have just at the major league level. 26 players is a major league roster.
Yeah.
So, let us know what you think, and, let us know what you think of the draft as well. We'll probably be back, like I said, to do this again when we get the new top 30 list out because I know there's going to be some questions and I know Zach's going to have some great insight on this.
Oh, that one might be
Especially
a longer episode because
especially the top 100.
the top 100, I don't have any issues with because I don't pay attention. The top 30, oh, it irks me where some people are. And it irks me the reasoning.
Yeah, sometimes the reasoning doesn't make sense. So you can't
That
just put
one
a
might
player
be a
there
longer
because of his
episode.
name.
We
Can't
might
put a
have to do
player
a
there just because
two-parter.
of his name.
We might have to do a two-parter for that one.
We possibly might. But I want to make sure everybody knows BaltimoreBattery.com is where you go to find articles written by Zach, myself, Justin, Matt, Nick, Jared, everybody else. Am I forgetting somebody?
RJ,
RJ, yes. I haven't talked to RJ in a few days, so it's his fault.
on Cowboys fan.
I know, right? Redskin fan here. Oh, I'm sorry, Commanders fans here.
Nah, you're right first time.
But anyway, head over to BaltimoreBattery.com, check it out, see some articles that we've written. Zach just actually had an article come out as well, um, reviewing our draft, going over the draft and also the top prospects of the halfway mark. That's something that you definitely want to jump into. Um, You can find me at SRJ Heckman on pretty much any social media platform and the Final Strike at the Final Strike underscore on X. So you can look that up in the Baltimore Batteries on X and TikTok at the Be More Battery. Zach, let us know your social handles so we can find you as well, please.
You can find me on Twitter at ZachTech8211. I also have a TikTok. It's not really used, but if I'm thinking about getting back into it with the season coming to an end, and yeah, over there you can see a bunch of stupid tweets and complaining about the Orioles playing because that's all it's been.
Yeah, that seems to be all Birdland has to say right now because there isn't much positive going on this year. We have a lot of problems that stem from a lot of different things. But
Yep.
hopefully, we end the season on a high note. We're getting ready to get a plethora of players back from the IL. Even if we don't make the postseason, if we can end the season strong, it gives us hope going into next year and shows what the team's capable of. We have not had our full major league roster together yet this season once. So that
That
says
is
something a lot.
sad. Ramon Laureano for MVP, by the way.
Yeah, MVO.
And he's already gotten that. He went yard again today.
Yeah, I know. That's 13 home runs now. We better
12.
pick an option. I hope we do not trade him, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor
Oh, it
there.
is 13. You're right.
Yep.
Mm.
So, Birdland, until next time, please keep that beer cold. Go ahead and have a wonderful evening. And until next time, peace out. Zach, you got any closing things to say?
Appreciate y'all. Always fun coming on here. I know prospects aren't the most greatest thing to talk about and the most fun, but it also is going to be big for the future. Knowing names ahead of time is going to be great for the future, and especially with how this team is looking like it's going to be going to a rebuild soon. I know prospects aren't the give all be all, but it's always great to learn about them. So it's always great coming on here and educating.
I'm going to agree to disagree on you. I don't think we're going to a rebuild yet.
You know what I mean? You never know what this. Did he just? Yeah.
Did I just? Nope, I
Not
didn't.
you, not you. The Orioles game.
All right, Birdland.
We
Peace
stink.
out. See y'all next time.
Peace.
I think we are good.